Scam alert. Joining me now is Steve Bernas of the Better Business Bureau, here to talk about some scams that are hitting nationwide. Good to have you here.
My pleasure.
Let's start with a phony loan scam, and somebody really was conned after trying to pay off a funeral. What happened?
Basically for that, she needed money for her daughter's funeral, so she's looking online and she saw a site that guaranteed the credit card and a loan, both. So she applied and they had to give her some money. Usually they ask for about $1,000, and it's a scam. They don't have any loan, there's no guarantee. They just go after people that are looking for money on the internet. If a legitimate organization won't give you a credit card, what makes you think somebody on the internet is going to provide you a credit card? And especially what the Better Business Bureau calls the tip-off to the rip-off is an advance fee. In order to get the loan or get the credit card, there's a fee. That's a scam. Run away as fast as you can. It's happening here in Chicago, but also national as well. It's a big problem, and it continues to work because people keep giving them the money.
Should you go to a bank for a loan, or what should you do?
You should go to a bank, you go to a credit union, somewhere like that. But usually people who are in bad credit are unable to get this. So unfortunately, what I suggest people do is really go to a relative at that point, because if you start looking on the internet for somebody trying to give you money and a big bank's not going to give you money, you're going to end up stuck with a loan that's going to be way over your head, high interest rates or things of that nature. Try to talk to a person in your family or a friend to see if you can get your money back or get money from them as well. But going to these places on the internet, guaranteeing money, nobody can guarantee you money. Nobody can guarantee you a loan. Nobody can guarantee you a credit card until they go through the process. And again, the tip-off to the rip-off is they ask for an advance fee. And that's usually the signal that it's a scam, and most times it is.
And I know the Better Business Bureau is on top of this, as well as bankrate.com, which will tell you the best 0% credit cards out there, and they're always attached to a big bank or Visa. Correct. Or some way that a financial institution is behind these loans. Let's move on to spring cleaning, and this is spring cleaning of your computer. What do you mean by that?
What I mean by that, people don't think about their computers to clean them. It's like a house. The longer you don't clean it, the worse it gets. Same thing with a computer. Once you leave all these files and photos and everything on your computer, it fills up, makes it slow, and sometimes it crashes. So we suggest do a spring cleanup of your computer system. One thing is make sure all your software is up to date. So you go to the websites and making certain that you have the up-to-date software and you got the updates on each program. Because you don't have the updates, you can be subject to a scam or some type of infiltration by a scammer because they get past the security breaches. So make sure that's all up to date and make sure that you have the proper software.
But again, you have to be careful there, Steve, because I've noticed that sometimes there's phony updates out there.
Exactly.
And those are the worst.
Those are the worst. You gotta be very careful, especially if somebody calls you and says they have an update for you, or you go to a website that may not be the Microsoft you think you're going to. Be very careful. You don't know what you're doing, ask an expert who knows this system, but by and large, if you go through your own software, there's a way of just getting the updates, but don't go to a third-party site and get updates.
Right. I actually had this happen to me once, and fortunately, I was on the phone with a gentleman, and I could tell he was asking way too many kind of questions that he should have either known or should not have been asking. So that was a tip-off to the rip-off,
exactly.
If you like to say.
It happens all the time. People call you too and say they can fix your computer, or some people call you and say that they lock your system up and you have to call them and try to unlock it. There's been police stations that have actually paid, or police departments paid ransom, the ransomware we call it, to get their files back from the computer. So you got to be very careful, make sure your computer's protected as well, and make sure that you have the up-to-date software, especially on your virus protection. So many people put virus protection on their computers and then they never update it again. What good is it? It's not going to do us any good because a virus comes out every minute. So you need those updates usually on a daily basis.
Last on your list is taking a look at people who come door to door asking for some spring help, maybe fix your roof or something in your yard. What's the problem with this?
The problem with door-to-door people, there's some good legitimate organizations do that, but by and large, a lot of them are scammers too. So you got to be very careful. If somebody pulls up to your house and says that your chimney's fallen, they could fix it, they need money to fix it, I'd be really concerned about hiring them. You have to do your research on them. So there's scammers that come out the door-to-door, especially for home improvement. Then you got your college kids who will try to sell you subscriptions to magazines. They'll come out and, is there really a subscription to a magazine? Or do I need to pay cash? There's so many people that come door to door. You just got to be very careful. And you never go with somebody who comes door to door right away. You don't do business with them right away. You want to do research on them. And one thing consumers need to do is the utilities don't usually come over and demand entry right away. And you see that all the time, especially in Chicago and other major urban areas as well, is that they come in, they say, order with the Commonwealth Edison or the gas company, we need access. And then they leave the door open and the next guy comes in and robs you.
Terrible.
So if a utility comes to your house and says they need immediate access, call the utility company. Call the number that you know, not the number they gave you. Don't let them in your house right away. If you feel uncomfortable anywhere, call the local police. I'd rather you do that, because every year we hear about this perennial problem. People come to the door saying, oh, you got a water problem, I need to look at your pipes in the basement, and somebody else comes and steals your money. So be very careful.
Thank you, Steve, for coming on the show.
My pleasure.